Hello, this is Andy with the Master of General Knowledge podcast. Thanks for joining me today. We're still going to talk about the RV business, and specifically today we're going to focus on RV insurance. It's a pretty wide-ranging topic, some specifics to it, but it shares quite a bit with an automotive insurance policy. Today's discussion is going to cover some of the basics. We'll have some further podcasts regarding, insurance claims for damage due to theft or fire or storm, claims, collision, and so forth. We'll get a little more specific, but today's just some general information that I can share with you regarding my experience with RV insurance. I'm sure that you're somewhat familiar with your automobile insurance policy, and it has, your most basic insurance policy is liability only. So you buy a car, you get insurance, you're insured for liability, as in if you cause an accident and you are liable for damages to a person or their property, your insurance, in theory, will cover the costs of paying for those damages. There's limits to that. There's a low limit. Some states, I think most states require you to have insurance on a vehicle, but you can set the policy limits according to your budget and what your assets are. Many people are driving around with maybe $25,000 of property damage coverage, and certainly you smash into somebody's expensive car and you total it, you can be, 2, 3, 4 times that cost that you might be held liable for. So the amount of insurance is a variable, but it's your choice. Obviously, covering your assets and your needs is important. Besides the liability insurance, there's a thing called comprehensive, and that is damage that is covered in regards to something other than a collision. Storm damage, a tree falls on your car, someone breaks your window and steals property from your car, or steals your car. These are comprehensive policies, so you have liability and comprehensive. Again, the coverage in the comprehensive side, is a function of dollar value on a scale of what you're willing to pay to get coverage for. So RV insurance, and most of the RV insurance information that I've seen out there, is relative to this liability or comprehensive policy parts. You have an RV, and those parts of your insurance are similar to what would be for your car. You're driving the RV down the road and you get into an accident and you're liable, you rear-end somebody, you're liable. Your insurance should be, covering the cost that is agreed upon by the insurance companies based on your, liability in the situation. RV, car, doesn't necessarily matter. There are some very specific things to think about, whether you're using a vehicle for work or pleasure, whether you're committing a crime, then I think your policy is not going to be enforced. There's a bunch of clauses and things that you need to read and understand. Have your insurance agent. They're the experts. I'm just a general knowledge guy here. So talk to your agent. They vary in their quality of knowledge and ability to explain to you the variations and the differences in these policies. But your RV has a need to have liability coverage. Many times your personal auto policy will, through an endorsement, which is like an add-on to your policy, cover your RV. Again, the carrier or company that owns your insurance policy or issues it to you will determine, hey, we'll cover RVs under this endorsement. But you want to make sure that if you buy an RV, that you talk to your insurance company, and specifically maybe your auto policy insurance, to see if they're going to endorse it through that policy. If not, there are standalone policies, RV specific, covering the liability. So either way, you've got to have liability coverage, either through an endorsement on your personal policy or a standalone policy. Beyond that is the comprehensive. If you have a loan on your RV, high probability the loan company is going to require you to have comprehensive, covering the cost or replacement cost of that vehicle. Again, could be issued as an endorsement to your automotive policy, or it could be standalone. Typically, it's going to be one or the other. Your auto insurance policy is going to cover you for the liability and collision incidents, comprehensive on your RV, or you're going to have a standalone policy covering both. That really takes care of your general driving down the road situation. But where RVs are different and where there's not a lot of information is when you are using the RV as your place of residence, even as a temporary residence. And it's my understanding, with my knowledge in the insurance industry, that your homeowners, if you own a home or rent an apartment, you have renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, and that insurance follows you to some degree outside your home. Like if you have a storage facility, I believe you're covered to some extent for liability through your homeowner's policy if you're visiting your storage facility and someone trips over a hose that you took out of your storage bay and left it on the ground. The same was if you're at the golf course and you have an errant drive get hit and it, hits somebody and causes an injury or hits a vehicle. Many times your homeowner's policy follows along with you. So the gray area gets to be when you are parking your RV in an RV resort or RV park, and let's say you have the hose connected to the potable water, intake to fill your tanks, and it's running across the grass to a common area water spigot or a water spigot within your rented space, and someone trips over that hose. Well, I don't know, and I haven't got good answers from the people that I've talked to. Hey, does my homeowner's policy as liability follow me in this scenario? Someone tripping over a hose connected to my RV in an RV spot that I rented. Now, if you rented an RV spot, theoretically, that's a temporary living situation. You have, taken another domicile, your vehicle on a piece of property that you're paying rent for, as opposed to, let's say, you're at a public rest area or something that has a water spigot and you're connecting to that, where you haven't rented the actual area. It's just a feature of the facility that you can use. So these are good questions to ask your insurance person. What is my liability coverage when I am traveling or specifically parked and using this as a temporary domicile? Does my homeowner's policy cover me, or does this RV policy cover me? I don't have good answers for you. So these are things you need to express to your insurance agent. Another aspect that seems to be a gray area in this coverage is, damage to your RV. You get into a collision in your car, and let's say someone hits you. So you're not at fault. Someone smashes into your car, and you need to take it and get it appraised, the damage appraisal, by an adjuster who's going to, work with you to settle for the damages to your car. Well, cars are relatively well known and easy to adjust or to figure the damages. You take it to a body shop. They work on these cars every day. Many vehicles are similar, and they can do a fairly accurate job, though you have to be careful and be diligent on your end. But an RV is substantially different in the fact that you have this coach or living quarters attached to a driving section. So fixing the front bumper or the cab of a Chevy Express based C-Class or Ford E450 or 350 C-Class is pretty straightforward. Even the front end of a Sprinter van, which is fairly standard. But when you move to the back of the vehicle where the coach or the body is, that's much harder to estimate and figure the damages. Not everybody is an expert in RVs. And these RV boxes, like the Class C, the box of the coach can get bent out of shape just very easily. So a front end collision where it doesn't look like it damaged the box, you could have damages and seams opening up and screws pulled loose that no one sees or understands how to look at. So when it comes to the damage side of things, that's a whole nother area that you need to be well versed in, and it leads to, I think, to me, a gray area in the adjustment and damage situation, appraising it. So that's kind of the basics. You've got your liability and your comprehensive, similar to your auto policy, and then we have this other liability issue when you're traveling in your vehicle and using it as a temporary domicile. And then if damages do occur, how to properly value the damages and get compensated for the insurance company. We'll cover the other two, the temporary domicile issue, as well as the damage issue to the coach area in the other upcoming podcasts preceding or following this one. So look to these other podcasts for more information. This is your basic primer in RV insurance coverage. Appreciate your time today. This is Andy, and our podcast is Master of General Knowledge. And you can visit us and comment and make suggestions and talk to us through this website, www.masterofgeneralknowledge.com. Appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.